Hey, music lovers, we are back once again. We have a dynamic duo with us today. You're like, what? Two people that like music? Yeah, kind of like me and you. So we know that the music is a very powerful thing, and we have this individual experience, but there's people that also create music together in all sorts of different ways. And we know that music brings people together globally. You can be listening to the same song all over the world, and there's this synergistic feeling of like, we got this, right? So it's so exciting today to bring, if you guys don't know, Jill and Kevin from Moving Lines, well, welcome to some really incredible people in the industry that are doing more than just getting up on stage. And I'll let them share about that. But you guys, I always ask, like, what's your most magical moment with music? And I'm really excited to hear what these guys have, what they can say together from a musical standpoint. So yeah, cameras over to you guys. Share with us, please, something that maybe you've created together or how your experience with music plays together.
Yeah, creation's always one of the best things that you can feel, right? It's sometimes it's a little stressful at times, but the overall experience of creating together is kind of a really unique thing that you can sit down, write a song, and then go into the studio, kind of flesh it out, get more ideas. It's a very cool and unique experience, that's for sure. And yeah, there's certain situations where we run into where I've had some kind of guitar riff or a basic line going down, and Jill would just come in and say, hey, I got some lyrics for this, and I'm like, already, that was quick. Just things like that, right? Where you're kind of, music brings you in. Like when you hear something, your favorite song, or you're passing by, maybe a club or something, and you're like, hey, I know that song, or that band sounds great. Maybe I should go in and check it out, right? Those are cool experiences. Even back in the day when we used to buy vinyl or cassettes even or CDs. I remember standing in line for release dates at like midnight, just to go in to get my favorite band's record, right? And I mean, maybe those days are kind of gone, but those were cool experiences because you get to sit with the same kind of people that love the same kind of music that you do, right? And you're like, wow, look at all these people. I didn't realize that there was this many fans for this band, right?
Yeah.
Just things like that. It's just, music is like, I think is like a language on its own that everybody understands. You either, love the beat or you love the lyrics or it grabs your soul or you just want to dance or you want to cry or whatever it is, right? Even like, if you get into the harder rock stuff or heavy metal stuff, sometimes those frustrations can play out in music and it can actually ease you instead of feeling, more
Mhm.
pent up and more vulnerable, right? You just play your favorite, heavy tune and all of a sudden you feel so much lighter. Now I feel great, right? So
Mhm.
those are kind of things, and that's kind of what when we write, we kind of pick some of those feelings, right? How do we feel? Or how does a song, this riff, make me feel? Does it feel jovial? Does it feel angry? Does it feel sad, depressing? Depending on the chord changes. That's the beauty of music, right? The chords can change your perspective on a song. The drum beat can change your perspective on a song as well. So that's why I think music is just magical overall. So
Yeah, and I think the most magical thing is I know I've heard actually a lot of musicians, a lot of writers say this, is that music when it comes through us is almost like a waterfall and we're catching
Mhm.
it as it's coming. So when Kevin will do a riff and we decide what the feeling is, I find that the less that we think about it and the more we let it come
Mhm.
in, the more magical it actually becomes. And you're like, you just kind of, I'll just write stuff down. Like in the beginning, when I started, I was thinking about the structure and, oh, there has to be a verse and a chorus. And I was like, no, no, no. I just need to either write down words or emotions or whatever that comes in. Just write it out like it's just coming out of you and then figure about the structure later.
yeah, that's
Right? And then you
it.
kind of create it and form it and almost like sculpting, I guess, in a way.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's how we write, is what we call ourselves painters of sound, is that we're creating a like an abstract art, something that comes alive to us, but yet it's something that can be interpreted different by anyone and their own story, right? Which is, I think, the most magical thing is that some people will come to us and say, hey, we heard your song and this is how it made us feel, or it reminded me of this or that. And those are the most amazing gifts as songwriters and musicians, is to have someone else's view on the music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Look, before we kind of sign off and send people over to the website, you know, you guys do some pretty cool stuff. So maybe share, because it's an opportunity for our audience to get to know you guys a bit more. So you offer some, you know, songwriting. I mean, tell people what you do and send people to where you're going, and where can we listen to your music and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so you can find us on all the social medias. At Moving Lines Band is the tag, so that's any of the social media. You can find our links on Spotify. We do have a link for that on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page. That'll take you to all of the links of our music and everything right there, all in one shot. So that's kind of a nice thing. And yeah, check it out. There's, you know, Bandcamp is one of the best places to support artists. Most of the proceeds go towards the band instead of where, you know, streaming, of course, does not pay all that well. But hey, you get a great, you know, you get a great quality thing when you go to Bandcamp, and you get to keep the file and the artwork and everything. So it's a really cool little thing. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Awesome.
you said, we also like to support other artists.
Yes.
So if there's anyone out there that has any questions, or, you know, we've
Yeah.
had some amazing mentors, so we would like to know, pass that forward. And anybody that needs help, because we do everything from the songwriting, production, mastering, and we're learning too, right?
Yeah.
So it's a big learning process. So yeah, share the wealth.
But it's
So-
fun.
And now, remind me, do you guys teach songwriting or anything like that? Is there anything that you guys do like that?
No, we're
Like-
not teaching songwriting, but I do teach guitar lessons.
Okay.
So yeah, that's one of the things that I do. And I just love seeing kids, you know, that are very interested in music, especially. Sometimes it's, you know, it's one of those catch-22s, you know, they're not sure, and then they'll try it, and then they might, you know, leave it alone. But it's all good. It's an experience, right? That's what it's supposed to be. First off, it's supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to be an experience. Music is that experience, right? You love a song, and you could just, I just remember days, you know, when I was a kid, putting on headphones, closing my eyes, listening to the entire album, and just, you know, dreaming of the imagery that it was painting in my head. Those days are awesome. Like, I mean, when you can sit down and just listen, right?
Oh, and I think that you're exactly right. I mean, I'm the parent of a creative, and you know, wanted guitar lessons and got him hooked up with guitar. And then I had a drum kit in my living room. Like, everybody, doesn't everyone have a drum kit in their living room for a good couple of years? But what it did is it just allowed him access to creativity. And now we are less than a week away of launching his fashion line. So I think when you allow a kid to be creative and explore, and I know him learning guitar, and I know him playing drums, and having that creative process go on, just kicked into everything that he's now doing, right?
Yeah.
You know, as someone who loves music, I was like, are you sure you want to do fashion instead of
But
someone's
you know
got
what?
to carry a tune in this house? But anyway,
Like you
I'll
said,
take-
you know, those things can carry forward, right? Music doesn't necessarily have to be the main focus, but maybe the creativity making something else, like art or fashion or whatever. You put on your favorite song, maybe those ideas just come flooding in even quicker, right? So
and
you never, it sparks the
other.
interest, or sparks the
Oh,
drive
yeah.
to go, right?
Because many other musicians and singers and stuff like that are actual artists. They draw, right? Which is actually very common. And I think because of that connection and maybe that musical vibration that happens actually comes out onto paper, which is like, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great vibrationally and neuronally, and just how music heals and accelerates. And no, it's all super good. Okay, so at Moving Lines is Moving Lines is where everyone can go and hang out with you guys. Thanks
Moving
again
Lines
for
Band, sorry, we'll correct you.
at Moving Lines Band.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna put it there. We're gonna put it there. Thanks for sharing your insight. And you know, you guys know what to do. You've watched enough magical moments with music. You know to go to theydotour.ca and check everything out that's going on there. You know, big fundraiser for the music community. It's gonna happen in Ireland, 2024. And I've been telling people, you guys will love this. So you know, we all listen to music and we've all listened to music and we've all walked by buskers and we've all had that experience of free music. And I always talk about how there's very few arts that you get to go and just have for free and own it, you know? So I'm telling people I'm going to help clear their music karma. So if they've ever listened to music for free and not paid for it, they can donate to They Did It Tour, and then we will take that money and give it back to musicians. So that's my little thing, you know, help clear your music karma. Anyways, I think it's funny. But thanks for coming and sharing some time with us today. And we will see you guys soon.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.